Okay, so Colm Bonnar, part of the management team with Ballyhale Shamrocks Senior Hurlers. Colm, we're not too far away from county final there now, and I suppose anticipation, excitement, the whole works is kicking in.
Yeah, this is the day we've been building up. We knew, our priority was to get into the top two of the league, and just to make it a small bit easier for the lads in terms of coming back from the county scene, that we wouldn't have a ding-dong of a game to play in terms of trying to qualify. So before Kilkenny were knocked out, we were in the top two, and that was guaranteed before we played O'Loughlin's, and O'Loughlin's was actually our last league game. So we've been able to build kind of quietly towards this county final now on the 30th.
Yeah, and just looking at it, the structure in Kilkenny is great. You've seen in other counties too where, in some counties in particular, there might be kind of meaningless games. But in Kilkenny, every game matters because obviously it counts towards the structure and where you're going to be seeded come championship time.
It does, and I think it's one of the best systems in the country because everybody has a fighting chance, and even if you're down in relegation and you're the last two, if you win your first game, you can actually go on and win 4 games, be county champions. So it's incredible that every team is still in it, and it has a huge interest. Yes, there's pressure on the bottom two teams to win their first game to get out of relegation, but also to try and get into that top two, because the stats show that if you haven't finished in the top two on either side of the league, you won't be county champions, which is an amazing stat. Clara tried to do it the year before last, and we tried to do it last year, not coming in the top two, but it just never worked out for us. So, until someone does it, unless you finish in the top two, you're not going to win a county final, Kilkenny.
Yeah, and just looking at the season so far, you were tested severely in that league final, obviously against St Martin's. They brought you to extra time, you got over that hurdle, and then you kind of opened up a bit against Mullinovat, and that set you up nicely going into the Clara game the last day. Yeah,
we were very nervous coming into the Mullinovat game. We were well tested in that league final, and the fact that we were brought to extra time and that we finished strongly gave us confidence to kind of say we have fitness in the bank and we can use that. And so when the Mullinovat came along, they'd hit us for 5 goals in the league. It was a tight enough game. We scored a lot of points, but the goals were a worry to us. And the year before, previously, in one of a game that we needed to win, we had to get a goal in the last minute to beat them. So we were surprised actually how easily we won that game, and really at half time, I think it was 3-10 to 5 points. Really, the game was over. That last goal we got just before half time killed them, and I don't think it gave a true reflection on Mullinovat, because they would have been coming down confident enough that if they put in a display that they could rattle us.
And then going into that Clara game, of course, you've developed a bit of a rivalry over the last 2 years. Another strong test, but you came up trumps in the end.
Yeah, again, we got a very good start. We were well up for it. I think they won the toss, but we had to play. We were playing with the breeze, and it was important that we took control of the game. And to be fair, we went into, I think, a 9-3 lead. But to be fair to the county champions, they came back at us. They tested us. They moved around our players, and come half time, we were lucky to get in only 3 points up. It was 10 points to 7, and facing a Clara team that were coming at us, and that's what they done in the second half. They came at us very, very strongly, and with 9 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go, they actually took a point lead. It looked like the momentum was going their way, so we had to dig deep and have that belief in ourselves that we were capable of finishing out this game. And I think we finished strong again, which was great to see. And I think we outscored them 6 points to 2 to win by 3 points in the end. So it was a great test for us, and we're delighted to have got that.
And that's the exact test you need going into a game against the likes of O'Loughlin Gales, who, of course, defeated James Stephens along the way. They were in the Stieg, both teams that were going very well, and so that'll stand you in good stead going into that game, knowing that O'Loughlin's are going to pose a serious threat.
Well, yeah, O'Loughlin's are a serious threat, and when myself and Andy came involved with Ballyhale, the first 2 years we've struggled and to try and match their intensity, and they pipped us in those 2 games. And this year when we played them we'd say it was a rubber duck really. It was only to see who came first or second, and they have changed the team around. They brought in 3 or 4 new players since that game, and you have to look at it. Last year we had a very strong team out in the county semi-final, and Loughlin beat us well in it. And if somebody was to tell me, we were to play this team again a year later without maybe 6 starters, I would have said not a hope. But when you get a call from the likes of Chad at the start of the year, he's not available. The likes of Conor Walsh for a medical condition can't play for the year, and then you get a call from Ali Cuddy saying he's going to Dubai, and then obviously Michael Finley going down pulling being out on crutches, and then Gavin Butler breaking his leg against Clara, and then unfortunately for our full forward, he broke his leg in the semi-final, and he's out again for this final. So it's just it's incredible the amount of injuries that we've had and that we've managed to get to a county final. But that shows the quality of the younger lads coming through.
It does indeed, Colm, and Loughlin Gale's in a similar position to yourself, like Paddy Deegan and Hugh Lawler coming into the fold, and Sean Bulger, and and then you've Darren Mullen there, and a couple of other lads like that. So I think you're kind of saying off air, it's forced upon you, but both sides are similar in that regard, where there's new players coming to the fray now, and it's a sign of it's the nature of hurling, I suppose. Things move on, and that's the way it is. But it's a sign of strength in both clubs that you're able to get to a county final despite changing of the guard.
It's definitely true, yeah. To be fair, the Mullins have given us an extra bit of pace in the back line. The likes of Kevin and Darren Mullen have been tipping around for the last 2 or 3 years with us, and now that they've got their chance, they've taken it. And the likes of Paddy Mullen in the forward line, the likes of Brian Cody, who unfortunately broke the leg in the semi-final, the likes of Adrian Mullen, the likes of Joe Cuddy. These are all young players with good talent, and they're relishing the opportunity to get in there and to show that they can hurl with Ballyhale. And I suppose their chances come a bit sooner than they've expected, but to be fair, we're in a county final, you couldn't ask any more from them.
I'm just going into the final then on Sunday. What kind of a game are you expecting? I know, as the great Brian Cody used to say, these games take on a life of their own and the usual stuff like that, but what are you expecting from Loughlin Gales? What do you think you have to do to kind of go over the line?
Yeah, well, we know Loughlin's are a very tough, hardened outfit. Physically they're very strong, they play at a huge intensity, their run and their support play is just non-stop, and we have to be able to match that. And I suppose if you look from our last previous game, Mark Kelly scoring 2 or 4 from play, that was an eye-opener for us, and Mark Bergen inside full forward scoring 5, and when you think of the likes of Martin Cumber didn't play, and I seen him in the semi-final scoring 1-3, and the likes of Alan Gagan coming in, and and the Cairns in the full back line, Brian centre back, they're a formidable outfit, and I suppose if anything they're really hurting after losing the semi-final or the final last year, and sometimes they say you have to lose one before you win one, and they're going to throw everything at us in the county final, and obviously we're going to be up for ourselves, and we want to get back after them beating us in the semi-final last year. So both of us have an awful lot to play, and there's bragging rights in it, and at the end of the day the winners will be walking up the steps to collect the cup in Nolan Park, and that's what we're hoping for, and that's what Loughlin's, and that's what's going to make it such a good game.